Good evening. My name is Terrence Bell. I'm the Compton captain at Compton Station. And today's date, our Compton Station Detective Bureau and Major Crimes Bureau served search warrants and arrest warrants on several individuals who were involved in a Compton Street takeover at the burglary at the Rubens Bakery, which occurred on January 2nd, 2024. During that burglary, a vehicle was used to ram the front of a business, and several individuals ransacked the store and burglarized it. To talk more about the arrest and the search warrant, it is my privilege to introduce our Honorable Sheriff Robert Luna.
Thank you, Captain Bell, and I really appreciate all of you coming out. You see, there's a lot of people standing around me, and anytime we come out and announce an arrest for something like this, it takes a team effort. All the way from the victims involved in this, and Ruben Jr., who runs that bakery, is behind us. And before coming out here, he could not stop saying thank you to all the sheriff deputies involved in solving this case. So I really thank him for being out here, and then all the officials from the city of Compton. I want to make it clear that we have a very good partnership with our city officials in Compton, and they hold us in the Sheriff's Department accountable for what happens in this community. They demand a lot from us, as they should. I just want everyone to know they really care about this community. So I'm going to get into some of the details of what happened, and then I'll leave it open for questions after the other speakers come up and speak. On January 2nd, at approximately 3:25 in the morning, a street takeover occurred at the intersection of Santa Fe and El Segundo here in the city of Compton. During that street takeover, surveillance video captured a white Kia, later identified as a stolen vehicle, that was positioned in front of the security gate of Rubens Bakery, and the driver accelerated backwards towards the entrance to the building, ramming the security gate multiple times until they were able to break it. Once the gate was breached, numerous individuals were observed on camera entering and burglarizing the business. Initial estimates valued at the loss of Rubens Bakery is about $40,000 in cash in damage and lost property. On January 12th, Compton Station detectives served a search warrant in the city of Los Angeles, where they arrested a juvenile driver of the stolen vehicle for burglary, felony vandalism, driving a vehicle without the owner's consent, and inciting a riot. The juvenile was later cited and released to family. With a pending court date, the juvenile was arrested later that same day for additional robberies in Carson and Compton, and is currently being held at Juvenile Hall. Let me take a pause here. About a week ago, all of you saw a very well publicized video out of a 7-Eleven in the city of Carson, where one of our deputies was walking in and interrupted a robbery of multiple individuals, and courageously ended up, his actions resulted in the arrest of all those individuals. One of the juveniles in that case was the same juvenile who was released, that was arrested in relation to this incident that I'm talking about. He was the driver, we believe, of that Kia. So it's all related. This morning, 3 additional search warrants were served as a part of an ongoing investigation, where an additional 4 suspects were arrested for burglary and possession of stolen property. 3 of the 4 suspects are in custody. 1 suspect was booked and released. Our community played a vital role in assisting investigators in the identification of these suspects. And I want to stress this because you are our partners as well. When people saw the crime that occurred at this bakery, probably like the way I felt personally, I was offended to see that all these individuals broke into this business. And when we say a business, we're talking about a family who has owned this business for many years, work their butts off to put this together, to watch a bunch of individuals who have no regard for other people's property or hard work, and did what you saw on video. That is very important, because when people started to see the video, they were so offended that we started to get a lot of tips that started to come in from the public, and that's because all of you shared that story. So kudos to you and every community member who decided that this was absolutely 100% wrong, and they decided to do something about it by coming forward with information. And by the way, for anyone who thinks that that's wrong, to talk about crimes that occur, I challenge you to talk to the family members who own this bakery, who work their tails off and serve this community in the way that they do. I do want to stress that detectives are still investigating this case with other leads and tracking down other participants of this incident. So we urge the public to contact LA Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-8477-TIPS. That's what it stands for, TIPS, if they have any information. And again, that's why we're here, because we got a lot of help from our community, and I anticipate our community will continue to come forward. The teamwork, collaboration, and professionalism of everyone involved led to the identification and the safe arrest of these suspects. The excellent investigative work of all these detectives working on this case will hopefully ensure the successful prosecution of those involved in the criminal activity that took place at Reuben's Bakery. As I wrap up, just again, what we saw on video, what we normally see on video in these kind of crimes, absolutely unacceptable. And any crime that occurs in our jurisdiction, it may take us a couple of days, but we have amazing analysts, detectives. We're part of task forces with other agencies in this area. We're going to get you. It may take a couple of days. You may get cocky and think, I'm going to commit another crime. We're going to get you. We owe it to our community, and we absolutely owe it to our businesses that they can depend on us when people do these kind of crimes. I will now introduce the City of Compton's Mayor, Emma Sharif, a good partner of ours.
Good evening. Again, thank all of you for being here. My name is Emma Sharif, and yes, I'm the mayor of the City of Compton. I really want to thank the Sheriff Department for never giving up and making sure that they continue to work tirelessly to make sure that this crime was, that they actually been able to find the people that actually committed this crime. No business in the City of Compton or anywhere should have to endure what happened there with that bakery there on Santa Fe, Reuben's Bakery, because what it does is that when small businesses are really trying to work hard every day in order for them to take care of their families, this is very devastating for them. But it's also very devastating for the community that's surrounding them, because that community is actually depending on that store for their to go there and get what they need daily. So I really want to say again, thanks to our Sheriff Department for actually just staying focused and really making sure that they had actually found the people that actually committed this crime. So again, thanks to all of you for being here.
At this time, we're going to open it up for questioning. Sheriff Luna?
Amazing detective work. We're relentless in our investigation, but it started off with the public coming forward. The videos were out there. People saw what happened. Luckily for us, some people recognized others, and I'll leave it at that, because at the end of the day, it's not that I want to refrain from giving you any information. Our next step is to get these individuals prosecuted to the full extent of the law. So there's a lot of evidence and have a lot of work to do to put together to move forward. We have 3 in custody out of the 4. Our goal is to arrest every single individual that was out there. You participate in this kind of activity at night and you think you may have gotten away with it, we're going to go after you. That's the bottom line. We owe that to our community. We owe that to our business leaders. Every single one of you. The individual you're talking about is a juvenile? Well, the system does. And I couldn't agree with the frustration, because at the end of the day, we want to hold people accountable. I think we definitely need to go back. And when I say we, it's the entire system, not just for us as first responders and the investigators, but to work with the district attorney's office, the judges, and everyone else in the entire system to make sure that even if you are a juvenile, this may be a good case to really look at. Is it an outlier? It may be. But at the end of the day, you look at the whole system, you look at the numbers, and yeah, we have to look at the whole system. Bail system-wise, people talk about zero bail. Zero bail doesn't really come into play here. I don't want to get into a whole lesson, but I think most of you know, if you followed this, the Urquady case that LAPD and LASD was under an injunction, that was more what you're talking about with zero bail. This new PARP system is a little bit different. From the presentations we have received, the majority of the time, it seems to be working a lot better than zero bail, but I don't want to I don't want to say it works or it doesn't. It's too early. We'll continue to look at the statistics, work with the Superior Court, and make adjustments, I hope, as time goes on. At the end of the day, we need to hold people accountable that commit serious crimes.
Been in Compton since 1974. I want to thank all the sheriffs. You guys are doing a wonderful job. It's a far cry from way back in 1974. However, there are street takeovers almost every other night. If there's any statistics out there that you could mention, I would appreciate that. But we call in, and and I know this fast, you guys are overwhelmed. Your work is very well appreciated. But it seems like the root cause of this issue seems to be the street takeovers. So what are we doing about so many street takeovers, really on a bi-daily basis, if not on a daily basis, but Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Let's assume those 4 days. I believe that that's the root cause of our issue. And I'm not quite sure what exactly the strategy is of the sheriff department when it comes to your citizens calling in and asking for assistance when these street takeovers occur. And I know it's a tenuous situation.
Okay, let me answer the question, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you kind of an overview, and then if you don't mind, as one of our concerned community members, I'm going to have you talk to Captain Terrence Bell, who is our captain here at the station, and he's been working along with every deputy assigned here, and actually we end up converging multiple sheriff stations to work with the California Highway Patrol and other local police departments. He can go over all the statistics, but again, I need the public's help. When you see these events happening, let us know right away. If you become aware of these, either through conversations or social media, the information you provide for us to be able to put the right people in the right spots so that we can take enforcement action. And we have taken several steps in enforcement action. We take these very, very serious. And I'm going to tell you, if you're involved in these, the direction that we've given our deputies out on the street is that you will take enforcement action, which means multiple things. You will be cited. If possible, you will be arrested, and you will get your vehicles impounded. And you will not get those back anytime soon, and that's going to cost you a whole lot of money. I'll leave it at that for now. But, sir, if you don't mind, after we're done here, if you can go off to the side, and Captain Bell will address you. Thank you very much. We are always looking for connections, because when these things are happening somehow, some way, they are connected. So we'll continue to investigate that and work with other law enforcement agencies around us to make sure that we hold all those individuals accountable. Thank you guys all very much for coming out.
This concludes our press conference, but we'll be available to speak with you. County officials, the Sheriff's Department be available to speak with you after. Thank you.